Liberia, oh our day, Liberia, we are free, Liberia, no more war, Liberia.
My name is Kunue B. Massally. I am the director for Shalom Incorporated. Shalom Incorporated has this year, over the years, been running two important projects. So the Let Us Learn project which is sponsored by UNICEF Liberia, and our Health to Start project has been supported by Water Aid Liberia. So for the year on review, our Let Us Learn program has been targeting beneficiaries, both direct and indirect beneficiaries in the West Point and Newkru town communities. And that program has affected the lives of 600 direct beneficiaries who have benefited from our life skills training program and our livelihood vocational training program. So for the life skill training program in 2019, Shalom has been rolling out key messages on improving decision making, critical thinking skill, to reduce risky behaviors among adolescents, specifically between ages 12 to 19 years, that have seen a spike in teenage pregnancies, in early child marriages, as well as FGM. And through such efforts, we've managed to reduce the other vices that were prominent in those communities, involving rape. And our own engagement with the police authority shows that there has been a reduction in the number of rape cases because our adolescents now have the right information. Even in terms of the Zogos, people who take drugs, we've also managed to reduce that because they've been covered in our target. We've also improved leadership skills of young men in those communities, involving our peer education, where we look at adolescents who've shown that skill, been picked and trained, and they have also been able to roll out life skills training to their peers. And so we've also dealt with people who have been out of school, and we've provided alternative basic education for people who've been out of school for so many years. And we have that section in our program where we provide an alternative to people who are doing vocational training, but then they've been out of school, to learn how to provide numeracy skill as well as songwriting skill to some extent. And we also provide tutorship or tutorials to our students who are in secondary, secondary education. And then that was for the life skills. So for the livelihood, we try to provide the full package because we understand it's one thing to give people knowledge, but it's also important and also paramount, looking at the social demographic characteristics of people in our community. We also complement the program by providing, our, social empowerment that looks at 4 key areas in vocational training. So we provide pastry, we provide hospitality, we look at cosmetology, and then we also look at tailoring. So our beneficiaries attend this program for a considerable number of time, 6 months, and then they are placed across 30 hospitality institutions around the country where they are able to justify what they have been able to learn. And then we've had this relationship where, based on what they have learned, most of them have been taken. We have over 100 of our adolescents that are now working permanently across these 30 institutions that we then made mention about. And so you see that we don't just start to training, we go beyond just the training, because we've noticed in Liberia there has been that gap where people are just training and then you don't see the tangible impact of our program. We go beyond the training and we show tangibly that our beneficiaries are working. So we have so many success stories about somebody, some girls who, a few years back before the program could not even afford $100. And because of that, some of them are on the streets, right? But then due to our program, thanks to our partner UNICEF, we now have, our adolescents who, are making a positive impact. And most of them are now, prime movers of social change in their community. Our next program is our Healthy Start program that we implement with Water Aid Liberia. So as you understand, WASH basically is incorporated in the Sustainable Development Goal as goal number 6, which is very important. And what gave rise to our Healthy Start program was that over the years, Liberia has been one of the country recording the highest maternal mortality as well as child mortality rate in the world. Specifically in Africa, we were one of the highest. And so the program came. One of the reasons was because there were manageable sicknesses that were linked to poor practices in WASH, for example, diarrhea. So diarrhea has been recognized as one of the leading causes of death in children under 5. That is preventing children from even reaching their full birthday. Apart from diarrhea, you also have issue with stunted. The last time the Liberia Demographic Health Survey was done, it shows that we have 32% in 2013 of Liberian children who were stunted. And we all understand the economic impact of stunted, because when you have children who grow up being stunted, they are slow to learn. And if you are having most of those children coming up in the country who are slow to learn, it affects our own innovation, our own human resource development as a country. And we all know, as far as GDP is concerned, the contribution of everybody in the country helps to improve the living standard. So our Healthy Start project look at that. And so over the years, we've been providing rehabilitation services to health facilities in the country that have been lacking water, because we realized that for maternal mortality in delivery rooms, there was inadequate water, and you cannot have inadequate water where you are delivering. So because if you cannot wash your hand and the male referee, their hand touches something, that is steam, it affects the mother even during the delivery process. So as we gear towards the celebration of Liberian independence, we understand that people everywhere have different reasons. There are some people who don't see the need. I came across an article where someone was saying we should not celebrate the July 26th. But I want to caution, I want to encourage everybody that there are men and women in Liberia that have provided hope, and are providing hope for Liberia for which we should celebrate. So we have Lehman Bowie, we have Abraham Keita, we have the American Idol together. I just won the American Idol just sing. And then, across the world, Liberians are doing well. And I believe that as a country, we should be hopeful, we should look towards such people, and we should have the hope that it is worth celebration. So as we celebrate this year's independence, I want to roll out this message to our beneficiaries and all those listening, that remember, you are a change agent. And we've always say you should be the change that you want to see. So what that means is that the change starts from you. So you've been given the tools for decision making, you've been given the tools for critical thinking. Understand that you have a part to play in making Liberia better. Stop the blaming, stop the name calling, and let us all work together to ensure that this our great country remain great on this continent. Thank you, and have a happy 26th. My name is Kunue B, Massally, Director of Shalom Incorporated, a local NGO.
Liberia! It's your day! It's time to party! Real fight! Doing it for y'all! I am proud to be a Liberian, and I don't care what anybody go say. I will jump and sing and shout hooray, 'cause today is our Independence Day. Liberia.